Good morning, Starbucks team. Last week, we received a brief from you explaining your current situation and your need to conduct a research. As a team of emerging researchers, we gathered our knowledge and designed a tailored research methodology for you. In the brief we received, you mentioned that you have noticed increased reports of aggression toward customer-facing staff since the start of the pandemic. You recognize the extra effort that your frontline staff members need to put into regulating their emotions, and therefore increasing their likelihood of experiencing burnout or emotional exhaustion. Unlike office workers, service industry workers don't have the option of working from home. Therefore, as a leading international coffee corporation, you want to make a change in supporting your employees' emotional well-being. With the current 4-day workweek trial that's happening in Australia, Starbucks is very intrigued to find out if switching to a 4-day workweek for employees would better support their staff's emotional well-being. We're glad to see Starbucks not only being a leading corporation, but also having a genuine interest in supporting its employee. Therefore, we hope to help Starbucks make an insights-led decision in improving their employees' emotional well-being, and we propose to use the experience sampling method. The experience sampling method is a technique for collecting data about how individuals think, feel, and behave in their daily lives. This is achieved by prompting an individual to respond to short surveys at specified times during a day or week. These self-reports can then be collated to form a rich picture of a person's daily experiences. ASM allows researchers to investigate questions such as how does a person's mood change across the work week? How do they feel in various circumstances? How do workers differ in their emotions and behaviors?
Now, let's talk through some of the benefits of using ESM. Firstly, ESM produces results that are more accurate in their representation of how a population feels, thinks, and behaves. In other words, ESM produces data that is more likely to represent the true experiences of your employees. ESM takes psychology out of the laboratory and into real-life situations. Secondly, ESM can capture highly contextualized individuals' real-time experience and feelings. Because of the short time lag between signal and response, there is less room for memory to bias results. Recording these experiences and feelings shortly after they occur prevents memory from affecting the accuracy of results. Lastly, ESM allows us to observe the fluctuating nature of emotions. ESM studies how emotions change over time for an individual. Collecting data on emotions sequentially over a specified time frame allows us to observe the dynamic changes of emotions. This provides useful information that can predict future behavior and emotion. For example, in a previous study, ESM was used to investigate the effects of momentary pleasant emotions on future social activity. ESM was specifically chosen to perform this research because its methodology allows for a close investigation on how emotions relate to future behaviors and outcomes.
With all the benefits of ESM in mind, it is not the perfect research method to address all research questions. Due to the frequent sampling, it is not good for measuring traits that are stable over time, such as personality. Furthermore, there are some limitations to ESM, including compliance issues, which could potentially lead to biased samples. ESM requires participants to report back frequently, which would increase the participant burden and make them less likely to comply throughout the whole study. Therefore, the participants that have maintained throughout the study may be high on conscientiousness, and this could be problematic depending on the research question. There are a couple of ways to increase the accuracy of responses and data. First of all, limit the study to a maximum of 2 weeks. Avoid sending out surveys when participants are using their phones or on a phone call to prevent participants from feeling rushed into completing the survey and return to what they were doing. Lastly, remove responses that have a completion time that is 2 standard deviations above the mean as this likely means that the participant has been distracted while completing the survey. Overall, these would increase the accuracy of results, thus the accuracy of the data. Since the study aims to capture an employee's subjective experience in their natural setting over time, ESM is deemed well suited to meet the research objective. Using ESM will enable Starbucks to assess individual level key constructs such as negative affect, job satisfaction, and burnout. These constructs vary across time and could yield important insights. To conclude, the results of the study will be able to support Starbucks in making the decision to switch to a 4-day work week if a noticeable decrease in emotional well-being is observed. The ESM assessment will be presented in a self-report questionnaire with contents of the item built in reference to the emotional labor scale, with some modifications to make it fit better in measuring employee well-being. The questionnaire consists of 2 items covering the emotional well-being of employees, with statements such as, how often have you felt emotionally drained from your work in the last hour? How often have you made an effort to mask your feelings in the last hour? Employees are required to indicate how often they had experienced each of these statements, listed using a 5-point scale ranging from 1 as not at all often to 5 as very often. They will be prompted to fill in the questionnaire once they are signaled through their phones, ideally 2 times a day throughout the course of the week.
So overall, we propose to use ESM to investigate whether reducing working days to 4 days can help improve employees' well-being. To achieve this investigation, Starbucks need to understand the dynamic change of employees' well-being in 5 working days. This is where ESM enables to capture. It records the real-time status of employees by asking surveys multiple times per day. With recording for several days, we are able to analyze the data, draw a conclusion on the trends of employees' well-being. Besides, although ESM can have some downsides, we had made adjustments in methodology to adapt to our context, such as shortening the study length. Also, as using ESM can help collect valuable data and generate the results to the population, the data and findings can not only benefits for Starbucks employees, but also make implications to other customer service companies. By taking this action, Starbucks will not only strengthen its brand image, but also fulfill its responsibilities as a leading corporation. So this is the end of the presentation. We look forward to further discussions around the content and the decision in due course. Thank you.